She's back. What's up, my fly people? It's your girl Oso Ocean. Let's get into today's video. So in today's video, I'll be giving 10 to 11 tips on how to glow up mentally and internally for your rebirth era. Since I've been on what I like to call a hiatus, and for those of you who don't know, a hiatus is just taking a long period or break from something. So I like to call my little break a hiatus, just to give it a little razzle dazzle, you know what I'm saying? So a hiatus consists of anything that you want. My hiatus not only consists of like taking a break from certain things, but also trying new things and just getting more in tune with myself and rebirthing myself to become the best me. Aside from thinking about the glow up that you want as far as your physical glow up, I think that it's very important to pay attention to your mental and internal glow up, because that's how you're really gonna get to where you want to be physically. You have to start mentally. Everything is a mind thing, and by that I just mean you have to start with your mind. You have to train your mind certain things, regardless if you're focusing on a physical glow up. If your physical glow up is to lose weight, it's a mind thing to train your mind to, okay, I'm going to the gym consistently. If your physical glow up is, I want my hair to look better every morning, it's a mental thing to train your mind, okay, in the morning I need to wake up at this time so I can ensure that my hair looks how it's supposed to look. That's why I say, before you be so concerned about a physical glow up, you need to get that mental and internal glow up so you can really grow and rebirth into the best person that you want to be. It is March of 2024, but you can have a glow up any time of the year. Don't feel like, oh my God, it's going on the second quarter of the year. I wasn't standing on business like I said I was in January. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna wait all the way until December and then have all these resolutions again instead of really connecting and getting in tune with yourself. Sometimes I even look at old videos from 2023 or the beginning of 2023 where I'm saying I'm gonna stand on business with this, that, and the third. And I'm looking back and I'm like, I really didn't stand on business. I really didn't take that time out to get in tune with myself and really figure out how do you actually glow up internally and mentally, putting in the work that you have to do with you and yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that is also why I took a break from like social media and people, just so I can be in tune with myself and be in tune with God, to know the path and the things that I need to do just to become the best and better me. And I'm feeling as such, you know what I'm saying? Don't feel like you're too old if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Don't feel like you're too young. You can be young and turn and having fun and still work on yourself. It's good to start young. It's good to start anything young. My younger brother, he's about to be 18 and he's very in tune with like meditating and like taking care of himself. He's not like me or my brother. When we was 18, we was outside. Don't feel like you're too young. Don't feel like you're too old. You can get this cracking, okay? So first things first, you gotta let go. When I say let go, I'm talking about you gotta let go of the past, the people, the situations. You may gotta let go of habits. It's a time where you have to really be honest with yourself, be real with yourself. One of the things that I had to let go throughout this journey is smoking and drinking. My goal for this video is to give you the tips. You have to figure out for yourself what are the things that you need to change or let go. Don't look at my video, don't look at me, don't look at my life and be like, oh, she stopped smoking, so let me stop smoking, even though you love smoking and it may help you in this sort. Me personally, I feel like if you smoke, you're not 100%. You're just not. It may enhance your creativity, calm anxiety, but you're not 100% when you're under any type of influence. You're just not. Although sometimes smoking definitely enhanced like my creativity in certain moments, but sometimes it really brought me down or it really made me tired. When it comes to letting stuff go, especially bad habits, you have to really be honest with yourself and stop trying to convince yourself that you can make certain things work that you can't. For a long time before I stopped smoking, I would convince myself like, I only smoke on the weekends, I'll be good. I had to start being honest with myself. Even though I cut out only smoking on the weekend would come, I would smoke. That tiredness catch up to me. So it's Sunday, but now it's Monday and I'm a little bit tired, drained, I'm a little bit cranky, I'm a little bit irritated. Since I did use smoking as like a calming for me, especially when I wanted to tap into my I don't give a fuck mood. What Cheeky say? I'ma wipe your name off of my schedule.
And if I smoke this blonde, girl, I'm gon' forget you.
And that's exactly how I was feeling smoking weed. And I'm not saying for the rest of my life I won't hit another blunt, because baby, when the time come, I will. But being a consistent smoker, being high 24/7, it's just not for me. Like, it don't work for my lifestyle. You have to let go of the past. It can be hard to get over certain traumas, but if you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. Journaling helps a lot as well, just because you're able to get your thoughts out, and maybe you need to have that conversation with somebody in order to let go. I was definitely an overthinker, like a very deep overthinker, you know what I'm saying? And really, to get out of that, I just had to tell myself, for one, don't overthink things that you can't control, and don't overthink things that already happened and you really can't change. You have to focus on what you can do now and how you can grow from it now. Let go of the past and learn from it. That's the only thing you can do. But don't hold on to it to the point it's hindering you from having that mental and internal glow up, because it will. You have to let go. You get stuck, you get stupid. Simple. Okay, so the next tip that I'm going to give is setting your boundaries so that you can actually stand on business. A lot of people talk about standing on business, but in order to really stand on business, you got to figure out what's important to you, not what's important to somebody else or what you see on the social media. You have to figure out your morals, your boundaries, and your values for you. I took a break from social media, and I'm not saying that everybody needs to take a break from social media. I actually recommend it, but social media is a hell of a drug, and it's a hell of an influence. And if you get too caught up into social media, you're going to lose what are your actual values, what are your actual boundaries, and what are your actual morals. And that's the same as if you're around certain people too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've definitely found myself hanging around people, doing certain things where I'm like, this not even my vibe. Like, maybe it was before, but it's not my vibe anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why I started to really separate myself from certain people in my life and certain situations in my life. And trust and believe, people are not going to like it, especially your old friends and people that you grew up with. They're going to see this new you and certain things that you're not on, or certain things that you are on now, and they're definitely going to judge you for it. They're definitely going to claim that you're acting different, that you're being funny, and that's fine, because they have to realize you are growing. You're not connected to certain things that people do, and that's fine. You have to be okay with that. You could easily get caught up in all these little quotes and all these little debates you see in the comments where people are saying this and they feel this way about that. You may be a girl who's not going 50-50 with no man, and that's just fine. But then you see on the social media, they're making a big deal about it. They're making a big debate about it. And now you're like, oh, well, I guess I'll settle and be a 50-50 girl. Shit, maybe I might even be a 40-60 or whatever the case may be type of girl. If that's not you, then don't do it. And I just use that as an example because that was like a big debate going on from the last time I was on social media. You have to figure out what's important to you. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Once you figure out what's important to you and what's your morals and what's your goals, then you know how to separate yourself from certain people and certain things. The people that I want to connect with now, because I know my morals and I know my boundaries and I know my standards, are the people that are doing like-minded things that I like to do. If we go on vacation, you don't mind if we go on the beach and we do yoga and we meditate a little bit. You have to be okay with losing a couple people, and especially family, and especially childhood friends or friends that you had for a long time. And if they don't understand that you are on a new personal growth journey and they're not here to support you with that, then you don't need to be their friend anyway. And I'm not saying that they have to do and think the exact way that you think. Most of the people that knew about like my hiatus and like the new things that I was encountering and trying to be on, it actually inspired them rather than them talking down on it. Yes, it was some people that was like, you don't smoke or drink? Oh, that's a little bit much. Or what you do to get lit now? Like, bitch, I'm high off life. That's what I do to get lit, because bitch, I'm the vibe. As far as finding out what's important to you and actually figuring out your morals and your boundaries, for one, think about the shit that you really just not going for. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of stuff that I would let slide that I know I'm really not going for. I can't believe I went for that, for real. It's okay to change your mind and see things in a different light, but if you know you're not going for it, you're just not going for it. Like I said with the going 50-50 or going 60-40, don't let social media or your homegirl change your mind. It's just fine. Search the principles and values on Pinterest. They give you like a whole list of different words, and I picked the ones that was like top tier to me, and I wrote it down. I wrote them all down so I can always resort back to like what's important to me. This is important when you're trying to find a significant other. This is important when you're trying to find friends, maybe that next job, maybe go on that next adventure. Like, these are the things that are important. Y'all be so sad and depressed because y'all took this job that don't fit your principles and morals. The job that I do now, I am a boss. When you get the feeling of being a boss, you're not going to want to be nothing else but the boss. So if I go to another job, they better be handing me a higher position. That's just my principles, my boundaries, and my values. I remember taking a job doing something that I used to say as a kid that I would never like to do, and that was working on a computer or being like someone's assistant where someone has to tell me what to do. But because me and the person was like, we had a bond or whatever, stuff like that, I was like, okay, yeah, I do the assistant job and I do computer shit. I didn't like it, and it was taking a toll on me. I wasn't able to tap into my fashion. I wasn't able to really be me and do me unapologetically. It's very important that you figure out these boundaries and you stand on them. You wonder why you're in a relationship or you're messing with somebody, you're so deep into messing with somebody, and yeah, now you probably caught a little bit of feelings, but it's a whole bunch of shit that irritate the fuck out of you that they do. And it irritates you because you didn't remember your principles and values and you let it slide because you're like, okay, they're cute, their sex is good, I'm gonna let it slide. And then you start realizing that this is not the person for you. You don't want to be around this person. You wonder why you got these friends. They have fun with them about 40% of the time or 30% of the time, but the other 60-70% of the time they're getting on your nerves. You gotta know when it's time to separate yourself from certain things and certain people. It don't matter what it is, whether it's a job, whether it's a person, whether it's the clothes you wear. Stand on your principles and your values. Some of the things that I wrote down for my principles and values is loyalty, being authentic. One thing about me, I'm gonna do me unapologetically. I don't want to be around nobody that feel like they gotta fake the funk for anybody, because then you'll get to acting funny when you're in front of somebody. No, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Honesty. I value honesty. Embracing diversity, family, self-confidence, God and spirituality, self-love, self-care. Y'all know I'm big on that. Humor. I love to laugh. I can't be around or be with somebody who don't know how to have a good laugh. Motivation. I want to be around people who can motivate me and I can motivate them. Trustworthy. Catering. Self-respect. Common courtesy. Oh my God. Being assertive. Organization, gratitude, positivity, compassion, ambition, discipline, outgoing and fun, strong-minded, productive, femininity, independence, and open-minded. And I also wrote, if people or things do not match up to your values and principles, you must separate yourself from it. But most importantly, you must be a representation of these values and stand on business. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to get into is acknowledging your wrongs. It goes back with being honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I can look back on certain situations where I'm like, damn, I really didn't handle that in the best way. Or certain situations that I've brought on myself that I can't even be mad about. You have to embrace that certain shit happens. It's either a lesson or it's either your karma. I know when certain things happen, I'm like, damn, that might just be my karma. And I accept it. I can look back on some stuff and know God's trying to teach me a lesson. You know, God's still on your side. God is still looking out for you, but that's your lesson. And when it comes to karma, you just have to realize that you might have done something that you shouldn't have done. There go your karma. Maybe you did something wrong to somebody and then it comes around and another person do some wrong to you, and it is what it is. And you have to take that accountability You have to acknowledge where you were wrong, and you have to move on. You can't sit up here and pout about things that you can't control. You can't sit up here and pout about things that has already happened. You have to really learn from it. Trust me, I've been in situations where multiple situations has happened to me. I think I'm learning my lesson, or I think I'm getting the information that I need from that situation, when really I'm not. Acknowledge it happened. See where you can grow from it, what you can change within yourself so it doesn't happen again, and then move on. And when it comes and spin the block again, because it's going to spin the block again, and it always come back again. It's always come back again, because God is going to test you. Maybe a different person, it may be the same person, but it's going to come again. And that's your moment to prove to God that you got it, you get it. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't, this time it may be worse. Happen, acknowledge it, see where you can change and grow so it don't happen again. Let it go and stand on business. I had to get some water, y'all. My mouth is dead dry. All right, the next one is probably my all-time favorite. It's one of the ones that I really think I've mastered for a long time, and it's simply not giving a fuck. In this sense, when I'm speaking on not giving a fuck, I'm talking about as far as what people think when it comes to being your most authentic self. When you're in this growth journey, people are going to say things. People are going to feel like you're acting funny, you're being weird. People are going to ask you, why are you doing that like this? Why are you doing this, that, and the third? And you have to be able to not give a fuck. Simple. Because those comments are going to come. You have to just continue to move in your most authentic self. Do you unapologetically. Some people may talk down on the things that you are doing. On the other hand, you might really inspire some people. Like, some people might actually want to follow in your footsteps and follow in your lead. So keep that in mind, that when you're being different and you're being yourself, there are people out there who may hate and may have negative comments to say, but there's also people out there that you're probably inspiring, or people out there who wanted to do the same thing, but they're a little bit nervous. You're being an inspiration. You're being influential. Let people think what they want to think. You can't control how anybody thinks or how anybody feels. So don't try to worry yourself about it. Like who you like. You dress how you dress. You move how you move. You sing how you sing. You dance how you dance. You eat what you eat. You wear what you wear. I feel like people respect that more. Don't be so pressed about looking for validation. Don't be so pressed about looking for validation from people, from social media. I know it can be very hard to cut off that want for validation when it comes to your family or your parents. You have to realize, especially when you're growing and you're in your 20s and you're becoming your own person, you're not a kid anymore. You're not a child, but you are your own person. Just don't get so caught up in wanting that validation from the outside world where you lose yourself. And that goes back to really standing on your principles and your values so you don't lose yourself. Staying in tune with yourself. The only person you need validation from is from yourself and from God. That's it. Get closer with yourself and get closer with God, and move in your most authentic self, and don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. Okay, so next is getting in tune with yourself. So getting in tune with yourself is really taking that time out with yourself. A lot of people are scared to be alone and be by themselves. Me, I love my alone time. I don't think I will be able to manage without having my alone time. Get to know yourself. Spend time with yourself. Just you and you. You figure out a lot about yourself, and it builds a strong mind, because then you know no matter what you're going through, you're going to be just fine. And talk to God throughout the day. Any time of the day, you can talk to God. Ask him questions. He will give you the answers. God's going to give it to you. God's going to give you the signs. God's going to give you the opportunity. God's going to give you the chances, but you're going to miss it because you're not in tune with yourself. You're not taking that time out with yourself. Another way to get more in tune with yourself is meditating. I feel like meditating is one of the things that help with my overthinking. Meditating is just taking a pause. Like, the tongue is a powerful thing, the mind is a powerful thing, y'all. Certain things that you want in life, use that time when you meditate. I meditate for 10 minutes every morning, but I'm meditating on a clear mind, just trying to clear my mind and not focus on anything. Or maybe my focus is this next move or this next plan out, or how I'm going to react to this during the day, or how I want to feel throughout the day. That's what meditation is about. That's what getting in tune with yourself about. Don't overthink the meditation process. It's not as hard as they make it seem. And you can start small. Start with 3 minutes a day, then go to 5, then go to 10, whatever the case may be. When I first started meditating, I only did it for like 2 minutes, then I worked my way up. Now, self-love is the best love. When it comes to self-love, you know, you gotta have that self-care. That's definitely a part of self-love. Doing your hair, like making sure you're smelling good, doing certain things for you. The only time you look cute shouldn't be because you're going to see a dude. The only time you shave shouldn't be because you're going to see a dude. The only time you smell good and you're lavering up in lotion is because you're going to see a dude. Do it for yourself. I'm running errands. They see that I'm in their eyes dressed up. To me, I feel like I'm just well put together. Some days I might not even go anywhere and I still do my hair, do my eyebrows, makeup, or whatever the case may be, just because I want to. Look good, feel good, and that's real shit. You don't have to be in the best position in life to put that self-love into yourself. At least when I look in the mirror, I'm like, damn, that's a bad bitch, you know? And self-love also goes back with setting your boundaries, knowing your values, and knowing your morals. If you're standing on that, you're showing self-love to yourself, because you're showing that your worth and your principles are more important than pleasing anybody else. Self-love is also self-preservation. Save some stuff for yourself, for you to love in private. Energies, they transfer. I mean, I continue to be that type of private person, and it's nothing against anybody, but I have to protect myself and I have to protect the things that I love. All right, next one is something that I definitely had a issue with, and that is people pleasing. In this self-growth era of mental and internal growth, you have to learn how to say no. I feel like I definitely people pleased throughout my life a lot. I can look back on situations where I knew deep down inside I either didn't want to do it or didn't want to go, didn't want to answer the phone, and I still did because of people pleasing, because I felt bad, or I felt like I owed this person somewhere, I owed this person my time. If it's not important to you, if it's not on the track of the things that you're trying to do, you have to learn how to say no, and you have to learn to be okay with it. I'm never blaming anyone for my downfalls. I'm saying this is because of me, but because I didn't say no in certain situations, and because I didn't stand on business in certain situations, I basically messed myself up because I didn't say no. One of the things that really helped me stand on business when it comes to people pleasing is, if it's not a hell yes, it's a fuck no. So another thing that I recommend when you're on your glow up journey is learning a new skill. So in this moment, you're probably going to spend a lot of time alone, which I hope you do, because that's how you really get in tune with yourself. So I think that it's very important to learn a skill, do the things that you used to love. I saw a post, I can't remember exactly what it said, and I tried to find it before I got to this part of the video, but I couldn't find it. But if I do, I'm going to leave it I'm going to leave a picture. But it was basically saying it's crazy how getting back to yourself is going back to doing the things that you love as a child. Get back in tune with the things that you love as a kid, because that's what I did. I've always been a fashion girl, but as far as sewing, that's how I really got into it. I remember as a kid, I used to make clothes out of socks for my stuffed animals, for my baby dolls. I remember cutting up my jeans all the time, bleaching my jeans, and just doing all types of crazy stuff to my clothes. And it's never too late to learn anything. A lot of people feel like they don't have no talent, they don't have no skill, they don't have anything special that they can do, and you're not really thinking deep enough. You can do it. Any age, any time period, you can do it. You just have to really take that time out to learn that new skill. It may not be as easy. You may have to take a class for it, and that's fine, because you're putting that into yourself. You're investing into yourself, and you never know where that skill can take you. So yeah, pick up on a new skill. Teach yourself something. There's so many resources. Like, you don't have to go to college to get a skill. Now they have Skillshare, they have YouTube, just so many different places you can go to teach yourself and learn something for yourself. It's gonna pay off in the long run. Okay, so another thing that I want to talk about that I've definitely struggled, battled with, and thought I had it down pat and didn't: emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is being able to look at the situation from a non-emotional standpoint. Having emotional intelligence is not suppressing your feelings, is not giving a fuck about other people's feelings, especially if you have friends or you have people around you that really care about you, or that you know you really care about. You have to have that emotional intelligence to have those conversations, to acknowledge their feelings and acknowledge your feelings as well. And I've been studying emotional intelligence for a minute, really since I graduated from high school, and that's when I first got the mindset of thinking that having emotional intelligence was just not giving a fuck. When I graduated from high school, I broke up with my high school boyfriend. I just turned 18, so I was young and turned, having a good time. And for one, starting with him, telling myself that I didn't give a fuck about a lot of things that he was doing or that was going on, even though I know that I really did, but I would just suppress it and, you know, go on with life. And that's not emotional intelligence. This is the book that I read, and it's a good book, but in that time I was, you know, young-minded. I love this book. I actually recommend this book. The crazy thing about this book is that my dad, along with a couple of other books, gave me this book when I turned 18. And I remember when I first saw that he got me books for my birthday, I was appalled. Like, books? Is you for real right now? It said, "Happy birthday, Ocean. Make sure you cultivate the beauty inside of you. Love, Dad." That was the book. I realized that along with having that I don't care attitude, you suppress a lot of stuff, not calling out certain things with certain people, feeling like I didn't have a right to feel a certain way. And you need to know that you have a right to feel how you feel. Everybody has a right to feel how they feel. Having emotional intelligence is not making somebody feel like how they feel is invalid. You can explain to them why you wasn't trying to make them feel that way, what was your intentions or how you feel, but you cannot tell anybody how to feel. And you cannot let anybody tell you how to feel. You should never feel bad for feeling a certain way. I'm gonna speak my mind and then you're gonna take it how it is, and we can talk about it or we cannot. You have to learn how to speak on your feelings and how you feel in the most efficient way. You can let out how you feel, especially if it's somebody that you care about. Sometimes people know where they just wrong. Peep stuff and just move and act accordingly. But when it's a real situation with maybe you and a friend, you and a family member, or you're someone that you're dating that you actually care about, get those feelings out and have enough emotional intelligence to acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge their feelings, resolve the situation in the most intellectual way. My next one is pushing out good energy. One of the things that my dad always tell me, you push out that good energy is going to come back to you. Be kind to people. Do nice things to people. Don't let internal things that you have going on affect other people, especially if they didn't do anything to you. I'm a moody person. I don't like being around people 24/7. If you need that time alone, you need to be by yourself, then let it be that. And be kind to people. Give people compliments. Tip people. Pay for the person behind you. Don't do it for the media. Don't do it because you're expecting something in return. Do it because you want to be kind. And especially in this world where it's just so much negative going on and people feel like they have to be very rude and mean to people. The media is like, it's tough. Be kind. It doesn't get more simpler than that. What's really going to tie everything together so that you're on this glow up journey mentally and internally and you're standing on business is affirmations. I am an affirmation girly. I have my affirmations on my wall by the mirror because I love looking in the mirror, so I know I will see my affirmations every day, along with my vision boards and just certain quotes or things that I know that I need to remember. So I definitely recommend making your own affirmations. That way it can be constructed to you and what you want in life. I have things in my affirmations that says I don't overthink things that I can't control. I have affirmations that talk about my business and my skin, my hair. Write those affirmations that fit the things that you want to improve in your life. I have affirmations that say if it's not a hell yes, it's a fuck no, because I know I want to stand on business when it comes to people pleasing. So making those vision boards and making it visible. Don't just do it and then you just keep it in your drawer and you never look at it again. Put it in places that it will be visible to you. If you got to make copies of it, do that. Set reminders. Put it on your phone, your iPad, your computer. You know, speak highly of yourself always. In the worst situations, you have to speak highly of yourself. The tongue, the brain is a powerful thing. You cannot let it control you. You are in control of your mind. You are in control of your thoughts. You are in control of what you say. So act like it. When I feel like my subconscious mind is thinking certain things that I do not agree with, I let them know, baby, I'm the one in charge. My mind is telling me that I don't know how I'm gonna get out this situation. No, I'm telling my mind, God got me. I'm gonna be all right. I have nothing to worry about. The situation is already handled. You gotta speak highly of yourself. Say it out loud sometimes if you have to. Use your mind and use your tongue for good and positivity in your life, not for negativity. Nobody likes a negative Nancy, but everybody loves a positive poly. Okay, so that is my rundown on the 10 to 11 things that I feel like will help you grow and really glow up mentally and internally on your new rebirth journey and era. I hope you learned something from this video. Give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Tune into our next video. Bye.